a city the size of Los Angeles, I think it's entirely possible that I could live in Santa Monica and the love of my life lives in Encino and I'm never going to run into him because I never go 10 miles out of my way because it takes 2 hours to get 10 miles.
So being single seems to be harder today than ever. I mean, you hear people say things like, thank God I'm not out there when they're married. Mm-hmm. So if there was one piece of advice that you could give to single people today, what would you say to them?
I guess I would first advise them to identify exactly what they are looking for in a relationship at this time in their life. And then think about all of the different natural venues, not online dating, in which they can place themselves to meet someone that will have the same interests as they have, so that they can increase the likelihood of meeting this person that they would be most compatible with. From a natural perspective, once again, no online dating.
No online
As you
dating.
can tell, I don't like online dating.
Got it, got it. I'd like to know why.
But like we're all in Los Angeles here. In a city the size of Los Angeles, I think it's entirely possible that I could live in Santa Monica and the love of my life lives in Encino and I'm never going to run into him because I never go 10 miles out of my way because it takes 2 hours to get 10 miles. So, you know, let's talk about online dating. Like, why not? For some people, I do a lot of premarital counseling. I always ask people, how did you meet? And more and more, I'm finding that people do meet on eHarmony or they meet on one of these other websites, and they seem to be, at least at first blush, you know, they've cut through that incompatibility question we were talking about. They've cut through a lot of that not knowing each other before they meet, before they have sex. They're really bonding in a way, and I've seen it work really well.
Well, I guess with the clients I've worked with, most of them have not had a positive experience.
Dating sites are prevalent, and there's 90 million single people, and they only have 4% of the population. So they're clearly not successful, yet they're very visible.
They're appealing.
They're appealing.
Yeah.
Well, sure, because it's all hopium,
Yeah.
right? So it's, you know, it is a tough road to go. And to your point, what I say to people is two things: take your time and look inward. Because if you do the inner work, if you can take the time to really find your own happiness within, love yourself, appreciate who you are, know what you want.
You'll be so attractive to someone else.
You know what? They're going to be, they will show up. They can't not show up. But when we're out searching, when we're out looking on target for something, that's a surefire way to miss the target or to hit something that we've designed for ourselves, and that design is not really what it is that we need.
Here's what I tell people. I say, look, sometimes being single is great. You know what? When you're single, you can make all the choices just for you. So don't worry about being single. The other thing is, it doesn't take 10, it takes 1. Go and find something that you love to do. Something that makes you laugh, something that brings you joy, even if it's rebounding or going to a trampolining class. Go there, because when you are having fun and you are enjoying yourself, you're magnetic.
Yeah.
The other thing, if you're making a list, please make it short, but make sure, you know, and put down the things that you genuinely want. What you don't want, leave off a list. Don't say, I don't want someone who is, but. That's
No, we have
that's
to
what you
dream
don't.
in the language of abundance, not scarcity.
So for singles, obviously there's challenges. And part of that is because they're single longer, right? It's taking us longer to find matches, and we're staying single, you know, some of us into our 30s, right? So for that group of people, part of the formula is being creative, being positive, knowing themselves, and actually being in a natural environment where they're going to actually be able to experience people and find other folks that they have compatibility with based on similar interests. So that takes the desperation factor away, it takes the neediness factor away, and that's the formula to make it work. Yeah.